Hello strategy gaming enthusiasts, my name is AlzeboHD, and in today's CK3 video, we are going to Flavor Town to uncover the most interesting historical rulers that you've probably never played. These characters hail from obscure origins, extinct dynasties, and are perfect for creating alternative histories in your next Crusader Kings campaign. It's time to sit back, relax, and grab your brother lover as we take a deep dive into my top picks for the underdogs of history. Starting off today's list is an incoherent string of consonants I dare not pronounce, but this 18-year-old ginger ninja of Moray is the last living male relative of Macbeth, Scottish king and legendary murderer of Shakespearean renown. The Scottish Thane with a name that must not be said in theater halls lends his sinister seed to Máel and our sister, and after one in-game month, you're guaranteed to both become head of your dynasty and select a free legacy on account of your family's ominous reputation. They say that blood will have blood, and our devious duke is guaranteed to spawn as an ambitious, arrogant, and zealous flamboyant trickster, which will make it tricky to take down your king who himself slew your famous great-uncle in combat 9 years ago. Fair is foul, and foul is fair, and Moray may shake a spear against his sovereign, but building a dynasty to stand the test of time will take patience on account of our count's incompetence. Welf. If it isn't Welf, the Gelf, the famous bastard of the Duke of Lombardy and a previously unlanded courtier who now holds the city of Ravensburg in 1066 AD. This accidental stain on his father's family name starts his campaign as a 31-year-old, lustful, arrogant, and zealous skilled tactician who is unique in that he's the only disinherited playable character in the entire game. Welf is heirless and is home alone in a house named after himself, a house which in our timeline produced German, British, and Russian kings and queens, making this Welf great for those seeking a fresh slate campaign. Emphasis on the pain, as our disputed heritage prevents us claim to the lands of our father, but our count can revive Castle Welfenstein via Welf's starting claim on Zurich and make Die Welt for the Guelphs. For those of you who prefer their dynasties doomed from the start, I'd like to introduce Duke Baghatur of Visegrad in 867 AD. This Tengri Turkic vassal of the Orthodox Bulgarian king is the last remnant of the once mighty Avar Khaganate, and unless you Khagan think fast and play quickly, you'll end up in the dustbin of history. At the start of the game, our Bulgarian king will be in a war with the Magyars he'll lose 9 times out of 10, and when he loses, you'll lose all or at least most of your land, as the Hungarian CB specifically takes all Pannonian provinces from our realm. The only strategy is to run Avar away, and Baghatur makes this easy as he starts with 20 claims which you can press in war before the Hungarians break down your door. If you're looking for an even spicier strategy, you can declare an independence war and break free of Bulgaria to preserve your nation from Magyar migration and lay the foundation of a revived Avaria. But if you thought breaking bread with Hungarians was hard, you should try putting on the shoes of Lady Swanneck of Bedanford. Imagine combining the difficulty of surviving as an Anglo-Saxon in 1066 AD with the difficulty of being a 41-year-old woman without any children of your own dynasty. Eadgifu the Fair is at least guaranteed to be diligent, Midas-touched, beautiful, and highly skilled, but let's be real. If the Norwegians don't succeed in invading England, William will, as he's great. So make Hastings, as our Swan Lake lady must pop out children via seduction before the oven goes offline in 4 years of in-game time. As fate would have it, Eadgifu is also the lover of the Anglo-Saxon king, who's being double-teamed by existential invasions, and despite being descended from Jamva king nobility, our nearly menopausal maiden will have a hard time ensuring her swan name lives on. Even if she does get pregnant, she will have to land her new heir and cull the non-dynastic spawnlings before the wars are over, and her polities will probably fall to the Norwegians or Norsemen, barring divine intervention.
But before we continue, this video is sponsored by HogThunder. HogThunder is the most comprehensive vehicle combat game ever made, and features over 2,000 meticulously detailed tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships that let you dive into dynamic PvP battles spanning over 100 years of military history. Personally, I enjoy the seamless interaction between air, ground, and naval vehicles, and with combined operations in 4K definition, you'll never miss out on the action. Support Alzabo HD and play HogThunder today for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox using my link in the description box below. New and returning players can claim a large bonus pack with premium vehicles, a premium account, and much more for a limited time, so don't delay and download HogThunder today.
Our next ruler is quite possibly the only member of a dynasty still in power today, but this Emir's true claim to fame is that his family is directly descended from the only character in CK3 without a portrait. Hussayn Hashimid is a Haji and Saeed directly related to Prophet Muhammad, but the Hajj can't be too hard when it's in your backyard. History hasn't always been easy for these Hashemite Habibis, and despite ruling the Ummah in 867 CE, by 1066 CE they are a shadow of their former glory. Our Emir begins his campaign as Duke of Medina and subject to a Shiite sovereign, while his Abbasid cousins have been demoted to servants of the Orkuz Seljuk Sultanate. The Asari Sunni faith is under threat by an Asian invasion of Turkic tribes, and inshallah, you can restore the Prophet's dynasty to power once again. Brown-nosing his way into Holy Roman imperial sway is Count Friedrich of Zollern, the first and only member of House Hohenzollern in either starting date. This 16-year-old teenager somehow spawned one of the most powerful monarchies the world had ever seen in the form of Prussia and the German Empire. In previous patches, Mr. Z was landless, but he now controls the county of Zollern and is a perfect choice for starting fresh, as his family left home for mead and never returned. In real life, this dynasty established influence by being loyal servants to the emperors, but in CK3 you can build upon that legacy by spreading the HRE to the limits of the known world. But on the direct opposite of the known world is quite possibly the oldest dynasty playable in CK3. Rosnegus Zare of Tigray starts his campaign in 1066 as one of the only two members of House Solomonid, which, according to legend, dates back to the 10th century BC from the King of Israel and the Queen of Sheba. Now this Negus is not a Ferengi political leader, but is instead a count-level vassal to the King of Abyssinia, and despite his supposed Semitic roots, does not practice Judaism, though he can easily convert from neighboring Beta Israel. In our timeline, the last Solomonid emperor was Haile Selassie, who was worshipped by Rastafaris, and Rastaman, you can form the Kingdom of Kush before moving north and securing that burning bush. Shaking his way up our list is the Sassanid Sheikh Rostam of Mazandaran, a secret Zoroastrian and without a doubt the most interesting Iranian to play in CK3. The recent Legacy of Persia DLC has buffed this Master Sheikh into an absolute unit with incredible traits, and his Bavandi dynasty, itself a cadet branch of the ancient Sassanid dynasty, makes him a natural choice to restore Persia from Arabian predation. Rostam can immediately embrace Ahura Mazda publicly, as Zoroastrianism is his secret faith, and this character is so powerful I was able to conquer all of the territory you see here as him in a single lifetime. This may be blasphemy and may be madness, but you too can become Shoshiant and click one button to obtain absolutely overpowered bonus mechanics, which will in turn net you 2 relatively attainable achievements in Iron Man mode. Live, laugh, and love your brother lover, as our next Sub Rosa sovereign is an interesting case study into Iberian incest and disputed history. Infanta Iraca Fernandez is a 30-something single white female with stacked stats and a love for her brother lover King Alfonso, though there is speculation this might have been only rumor. Her father, King Fernando, decided to split Castilla on his death and gave all of her brother's kingdoms while giving her, the oldest child and only woman, the tiny county of Zamora, itself subject to her little brother and alleged lover. She ain't no Ola back girl, so petition her brother for a council position to become spymaster for the bonuses. He loves her and will not say nada, and take a look at the secession of Galicia, Leon, and Castilla. Urraca can inherit them all by killing her hermanos one by one to become Queen of Castile in less than 3 years, and in keeping with Spanish tradition, she even has a claim on the county of Navarra, which we can use to bring them back to Castilian civilization. We've made it to the top of our list of the most flavorful and fun characters of CK3, and I invite you to join me in praising the sun and welcoming the last Zunist Zunbul in the 867 starting date. This 42-year-old Vali of Zamindawar is the only character to practice worshipping the sun in secret, and can thus easily convert to the rarest religion in the game with a simple click and 250 piety. It wasn't always this easy, and once required hundreds of thousands of piety, like in that campaign we played over 2 years ago. But after the Legacy of Persia update, you can skip the grind with a DLC Fast Pass and return Afghanistan to Vitamin D, Ascendancy. Honestly, the Zunist religion is bare-boned and never received an update in the only DLC focused on their region, but it does still feature the unique sun worship tenet that allows you to punish your prisoners with sun trials and complimentary carcinoma chambers. If you're watching this video in January or later, be sure to check out our newest campaign, where we revive the Zunbul name and raise our Afghani tribesmen into the most developed and technologically advanced solar sovereignty in the world. Before we end today's video, I'd like to quickly cover the characters that couldn't quite make the list, the majority of which I've excluded, as I've already mentioned them in a previous edition of our CK3 Top 10 series. In the 1066 starting date, this includes Count Werner, the first playable Habsburg character, Count Herbert, the last House Karling ruler, and the Count of Lycundus, who is the last Bagratuni Armenian king and in Anatolian exile. In the 867 starting date, I'd get hate if I didn't at least mention Count Heistein of Montaigu, a magical Viking wizard that can summon thousands of event troops and conquer kingdoms from the start of the game. There's also the Lord of Gwent, whose Gwent dynasty hails from the Roman-cultured Magnus Maximus, the great-grandfather of William the Great as an unlanded courtier in Norway, and Daramadora, who can embrace a matriarchal form of government and obtain an achievement by conquering all of Africa. There are of course other characters we missed on this list, so be sure to let me know in the comment box below which flavorful families and defunct dynasties you like to play in CK3. If you've made it this far, I'd like to extend a top 10 thank you for supporting my channel and the YouTube algorithm. It's been a slower year for the channel as I moved and have been busy, but do not fear, 2024 is near and more content will soon be here. I wish you all a fantastic new year and juiced up January with your friends and family.
Thank you again to HogThunder for sponsoring today's video. Support Alzabo HD and download HogThunder today for free on PC, PlayStation, or Xbox using the description below and benefit from a large bonus pack of premium vehicles, a premium account, and much more. You can also support Alzabo HD for free by liking the video and dropping a comment, but if you're a duke with some ducats to spare, consider supporting the channel on Patreon or through a channel membership. You could appear in the credits, and it's time to make it so.